Hey there guys, this is Interactive Whitebox and we're here on a new video for a new mission in GTA Online with the mission creator. So last week I finished up my last mission for the gang robbery and I actually published it last week and I made a short. It was my first short that I've made. So if you checked that out and if you like that, then I appreciate you watching it. And I wanted to start with a new mission this time. So I've already had a few ideas running in my head. So we'll kind of start building out this new mission and I'll kind of talk through what I'm looking for when I get started. So I'm here in the mission creator here right now, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to create a new mission, and we're going to start by kind of taking a look and seeing what sort of locations we want to have. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to make this next the next mission that I'm kind of thinking about is I want to make something that is kind of revolved around this theme of Vinewood. So kind of what I'm thinking is we could have a mission that has the player sneaking around different locations in Vinewood, and it will be kind of this more stealthy mission structure that we can utilize and whatnot. And I want to utilize like the cameras more and really work with like different NPC paths and blending in. So I think that's something that I would like to kind of approach and whatnot. So I think I'm gonna start by just kind of starting there and seeing where it goes. So for those who don't know what Vinewood is, it's basically Grand Theft Auto's equivalent to Hollywood. So it's kind of in the upper part of the city in Los Santos up here. So we kind of have this whole area to play around with, and kind of what I'm thinking is, let me go to ambient options. And one of the things I want to do is I want to set this up to a night scene. I maybe maybe midnight, but I think midnight could be a little bit too late. I do kind of like the night. And then I'm going to just toggle all the like weather. Okay. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to set that to current. I'm going to set traffic to high. Pedestrians to high. Wanted options. I don't think I want any... cops in this mission, so I'm just going to go ahead and just set everything to 0 stars. So I will do that. Number of players, we will do that there. Team options, we'll have that. On abilities, beasts, I don't think we want that. Lives, Um, we'll play around with the lives. I know I didn't really play around. I didn't really change the lives on the last mission. And that's something I may adjust on the previous mission too. I still need to go back and do a few things, but I'll do that sort of thing off camera. I'll leave that as is. Appearance. I may play around with outfits again on this one. I just want to see kind of where I start off and see what happens. So we'll start there. Lobby, forced A mode. Before we do anything, let's add some spawn points. And we'll want to treat these first few spawn points as start points. So, what I'm thinking is I kind of like the idea of setting a mission, the first part of it anyway, kind of in this area right here. And then, I feel like what I want to do is kind of add in something where there's gonna be this starting area right here could be kind of like a preview event, like a movie preview event and whatnot, and then the players are gonna have to sneak in here and grab an object or a pass from a guard or something. And then the only other kind of idea that I have is once they go into there, then they have to go over to the movie studio, which is right here, and they're gonna have to sneak around because there's gonna be security all in this area, and they have to sneak around and maybe assassinate an actor or steal something. I'm not entirely sure like what it's gonna be, but I kind of had the idea of having like the Chinese theater. I think it's called that in real life, but in this game, like having that be kind of like a premiere and the area that the players have to kind of go and just kind of blend in, and there might not be a lot of security, or might be some. And then right here at this location, there's going to be guards all over the place. So they're going to have to like blend in. And maybe what I do is have a thing where it's going to be a lot more like tight with security around here. And then if they get spotted, then they lose. So then they have to basically find another route. I kind of like the idea of maybe placing a few objectives kind of on the outside. I don't know. I'm going to have to play around with like a multiple area thing. So that's something I might do in a later episode. But I kind of like the idea of, you know, players having to, you know, do stuff maybe in this area. Maybe, you know, maybe there's like a movie a movie being shot and being filmed during this time, and like the person who basically is contacting the players to go in and do this mission, maybe they want to have the players kind of like sabotage the movie that is playing. So instead of just having a mission where you have to go around and kill someone, maybe we can create some creative objectives that the player's gonna have to do, and maybe we could have it kind of spread out um, during like kind of multiple things that you have to do. So we might kind of play around with that and see what we can kind of play around with. But I mean, there's a lot of possibilities with this, so um, that's what we're gonna do. So I kind of like the idea of just like there's a director. So I kind of want to kind of play this by ear, but I want to kind of start building some stuff. So let's start out with placing our start point, because we do want to do that. And I don't know, and I kind of like this area too. I think this area is kind of neat, so maybe we can have like a second area here. So the first one's at the theater, then you have to go and like steal something over here. Because I like this, I kind of like this area where maybe the players have to kind of sneak around this area and do something, and then maybe they get access to maybe they get access to the Studio City, or they kind of figure out like what all needs to happen. So we'll kind of, again, I'm kind of creating this whole mission from scratch. I kind of have some ideas for like areas, but I think I want to kind of play around with those three. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start with that. So starting area, if the player is kind of needing to go here, I kind of like the idea of like if it's during this time of day and they're driving, I kind of like the idea of them kind of starting the mission and they're kind of and they're having to drive all the way up here in order to get to the theater. So, because I don't know, I just like I like this whole visual of it, you know, being darker and you're driving up and you can see the Vinewood sign. I think that's kind of a cool little set piece. So maybe we could just start it at one of these houses. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to create several start points. I'm going to do that. We're going to treat these as a start point. We're going to treat these not as a respawn point. We need to also kind of pick checkpoints. So as we're building the mission, we need to kind of think about all of the different checkpoints that we're going to have. Activation options. We will activate this at mission start, and then we will, once we create the next few objectives, then we will kind of adjust that. And actually, let's do that now. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to a location. And maybe, I don't know, I want to make this kind of feel closed off. And maybe we just close off this little area right here. So maybe we just have the players park right here. So, what I'll do is I'll go to locations and I will place this right here. Then we will assign objectives. And then we will have that be objective 1. What is it? This requires more. I know. I'm just trying to set some objectives so we can kind of figure out what we're gonna do. So we have that. If we want to add a new objective, now there's a few things, because here's the thing, is we gotta figure out what we entirely want this whole setup to be. I'm kind of thinking that, you know, all of this area right here can be kind of closed off with some props, and there's like a security check-in maybe. I do not know if there is any way we could get around that. I do like that there's a tattoo shop right here. Maybe we could utilize that as like, oh, you know, get around security. And then maybe there's, you know, kind of a back entrance right here. And then there's this area right here. The problem is there's really no good area. I mean, it's not like you can get, it's not like you can get, down here very easily from up here. Because I don't know if I want to, like, have, oh, I don't know if I want to have this door hook up to an interior. We can do that. And then, like, through the interiors, we can have, like, the player, like, maybe come out here, and then they're fully kind of in this area. I just don't really know what to do. But that could be something we could look into. Or, I mean, I have no idea. I kind of like this tattoo shop being here, and then there's a door, and then that could possibly, like, allow us to come up here. So maybe there's just, like, a different... Maybe we can, you know, sneak into... Maybe we can sneak in, do something. I don't know. I mean, let me look at the objectives and kind of see, because there's different objects that we can do. Minigame, damage. I don't really want to damage or, I don't want to, like, damage or kill anyone in this portion of the mission. I just don't feel like that is going to... I don't think that's going to really do anything. I don't really know if I want to do a vehicle. A cutscene, I might want to add cutscenes into this mission. I didn't really play around with cutscenes last mission, and that could be something that I add in later on my own time, but I do feel like playing around with cutscenes is going to really enhance this mission a little bit more. Actually, let me do that. I'm going to add a cutscene. Mission flags. I'm just going to... Set up a cutscene. Cutscene 1. Assign this cutscene to objectives or add new objectives to use that uses cutscene. So I'm going to play around with that. I'm going to play around with the time. Hold shot for mission flag. When the camera shot has finished interpolating, it will not progress to the next shot until the specified mission flag is set. So I don't know if I really want to do anything with that. Accelerate, decelerate. This graph will cause the interpolation to decelerate towards the end. We'll just have it be consistent. Show objective text. If set the corresponding objective text for the objective the cutscene is playing on will be displayed during the shot. That should be set once the time has expired. It's not what I want. Change the clock during the mission. Okay. I don't have any idea. I think it just changed it. I want it to be a little bit slower. But the thing is, I don't remember if there was any real way to like add text to these shots. So I may play around with it, but I'm not entirely sure. So I got that one, and then I'm gonna add a new shot. And then I'm gonna go and just walk down. Oh, jeez. Yep. Cutscene 1. Camera shots, camera shot 2. Okay. We'll see what that looks like. Okay, I mean, I don't hate it. Again, I might adjust things to have it go slower. And again, I need to figure out if there's a way to like add text to these, because I really would like to add text. And then hopefully by the time we kind of build out, you know, different things that we can kind of adjust and see how things go. And then we're going to go in and we're going to just zoom. We're going to zoom on the party. We're gonna try to make this kind of slow too. We'll try 15 seconds. As far as the mission flag, I don't really feel like I need a mission flag. Okay, is there a way I can preview cutscene? Cutscene settings. Start options. Warp players. Never warp. Keep vehicle when warping. End options. Cutscene position. Cutscene settings. Hide all players. Transition before end. Objective mode point shot. Start delay. Preview cutscene. It's going through Vinewood right there. And hopefully we can kind of place some things on the street, like again, like my idea is to have maybe like kind of an area where there's, you know, a checkpoint and there's some guards that you won't be able to get around. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good start for a cutscene. So we'll go ahead and start with that. So now let's go back and let's create the rest of these checkpoints. So I'll go ahead and start that. So I'm gonna go down here. And then actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the objective to the first one. And then hopefully that will allow us. I'm going to edit this one. So we want to treat this as a start point, yes. Activation options. We're going to enable this from the mission start. And then we will enable it until objective 2. We'll adjust it if we need to. We do want to spawn in personal vehicles. So we'll do that. Vehicle assignment. Which vehicle this spawn point is placed in. Okay. So now we'll just do that. And then we'll do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the personal vehicle right here. Just to make sure that that is good. Okay, we're going to add a new spawn point. We're going to do that 2 more times. So we got this right here. And we'll go ahead and we'll update this to be right here. And again, yeah, all of these should go to all of these should have enabled until objective 2, so we'll adjust that for now. Yeah. I think it's, yeah. I had to do it for these because I didn't copy this one from that one. But that's fine. I think that will at least give us a good starting point for these. And then the next thing that I want to add is I want to add some actual spawn points for this. So we will go ahead and we'll add in some spawn points up here once the player gets spawned here. So I will edit a spawn point. We'll set this as a respawn point. And then we will set this to 1 for now. And then we'll have that be set to 2. And then we'll, you know, play around with the objectives. See what, where we go from there. And for right now, we're just going to do that. For checkpoint 1, because I know that it's probably going to be warnings present. Team 1 spawn 5 is assigned to unused checkpoints. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go down to the restart checkpoints, and then we're going to have to play around with this, but for now, let's just set this to here. And then we will remember to adjust it later. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in a new spawn point. And then we're just going to copy this. We'll add in a couple spawn points here in case different players spawn in at the same time. Or again, if they lose and they have to restart the checkpoint, we need to have 4 different spawn points for 4 different players. So we'll just kind of keep those there for now. We can always move these spawn points if things change. So that's kind of the starting area. I'm gonna fill out some of these. So the title that I want to do is Vinewood Movie Mix-Up. Just a simple name that we're gonna do. Description. A important director is asking you to crash a movie premiere and gain access to his competition's next movie set to disrupt filming. Go and crash make... I don't know, let's just keep it there. Again, I can work kind of on these a little bit later. We do want to place the mission trigger, so I might, for the trigger... Does it really matter if it starts down here, or... I'll start it down here. I usually place my triggers where kind of near the start point. So now we gotta capture an image for the main mission. So we'll just start with that. It has to be close to the trigger object. Maybe what... I don't know. I mean, maybe we do place... Maybe we do place, like, the trigger... like, right here. On the corner of the street. Must be clear. Oh. Well, shoot. Maybe we just place it there. And then it... Again, the game will just start the... The game will just start the players back a couple blocks. I guess we could preview it. I think that's fine. Okay, so we got that down. We have ambient stuff. We went through and did that. Gangs. Set blimp text. Set the text that will appear on the screens of any blimps placed in this content. Appear on the screens of any blimps. I don't know. Forced A mode. We want to set the forced A mode to on or off. We don't want to force like a thing. We don't want to force that. Lock weapons. I think I need to change this on my last mission, but what we'll do is we will do forced. And then allow lock weapons option. Enabling this allows the lock weapons option to be shown and use allow. This will allow to change the locked weapons type in the lobby. We'll just set, we'll keep it set on that for the time being. We'll enable personal vehicles. Aim reticle, player armor. We'll leave that on for now. Driving options. We'll do that. We already set up a cutscene. We will probably add some more shared follow paths. I don't set up additional follow paths that multiple actors can use. Restart checkpoints. We'll kind of play around with that a little bit later. Inventory. We should probably set up inventories. Subways are expected to use during this mission. Team inventory set up. Starting inventory. So we have inventory 1, so we can add in Again, I want to have a I want to have a set of weapons that will kind of play into the like the stealthiness of the mission. So if we have pistols, I don't even really want weapons, really. I feel like I should have weapons, but we'll just have that. And we'll have a knife. Default body armor. Just have that be set. Remove weapons first. Removes weapons from the player. Giving this inventory. But I want to set that to yes. I don't know. Starting weapon. And then if it's starting at the first inventory, and then once we get to the other kind of areas, then we may open up the inventory a little bit. We might also add in a few more options. So if we want to add in maybe like a micro SMG that has a suppressor, we can do that. I don't know. Let me look at throwables. I don't know if throwables if we should have anything. I mean, tear gas, maybe. Maybe tear gas could work. We have one tear gas though, maybe per player. No. Actually, we'll give him 2. This I will set to none. Rolled features. I do like the idea. We could include the Tequi-la-la. That might actually not be a bad interior to use. And what the Tequi-la-la is it's oh, where is it? It's like right over here. And this whole interior then will be accessible. Can I fly into it? No? Using an interior will force the restricted weapon use option and disable options to the disabled state. So I can't use weapons here? I don't know. Let me see if I can walk into the... Kinda. There we go. Oh, I think I went to the wrong... I was trying to go through the wrong door. But no, even that, I can't walk into it. Toggle the Tequi-la-la interior. Right. Maybe I don't use it. I don't really understand how... Do I have to, like... Okay. If I toggle it. Maybe I don't use that, because it's kind of not working. Let me play it and see if it will, and we can go through and, we can go through and check all of that stuff and see what we do. Do I have music? Music. We'll just set that on for none right now. We'll just test the mission, see how it goes, and see what we can do. Again, I'd like to add some text to this, see if there's a way. Got some people here. I think there might be some zones that I need to do to like keep pedestrians from like walking into this area, but hopefully I can kind of build this area out. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my controller. I just want to see if I can get into the Tequi-la-la. I have these weapons. These are suppressed, so this is going to be kind of like a stealth mission. I want to force the players to go over here. I wonder if there's a way I could do that. Instead of going there, I'm just gonna go over to the club. Just see if I can open the door, because I don't really understand why it won't allow me to do it in the editor portion of this. And I don't know if I need to like spawn into the interior. I don't really understand why it's not allowing, it didn't allow me to go in there, but okay, yeah. So I don't I don't know, but I can access this interior. And I kind of like this interior for like maybe we go here and we need to maybe there's like a party up here and we need to steal some information up here on the movie studio. Another area that I might play around with too is I believe it's where was it? I think it was like right here. again, like, I want to kind of have a movie-centric adventure where you're going through and you have to, like, mess with this movie that's being shot. And maybe there's different, like, people working on the movie. So, like, there's a producer that's here. There's a producer at the Tequi-la-la thing. Oh, look at this. This is a whole, like, interior. That's kind of nice. Ooh, you know what would be kind of a neat idea? I wonder if there's a way if we could, like, unlock this, if we can lock this garage, and then we have to go into here, and we need to sneak around, and we need to sneak around, and maybe we need to, like, assassinate, like, someone, and then the person that we kill drops a key to this garage, and then when we get the key, then it opens this garage up, and then we have to go into here, and then we need to steal some information or do something that will mess up the movie that we have to go and do that for. And then we need to go to the Tequi-la-la. So we'd have to go back down here. And then we have to kind of make our way through. We can also not only go through the front, but we can go through the back here. And maybe there's just kind of different, you know, paths that NPCs can take back here and whatnot. So if the player wants to go through the back here, it might be a more of a direct way to get into this kind of party area where we could have, where you have to, like, get access to you know, either maybe get to someone or do something, download some information. We could do that. But we can kind of play around with this area. Again, I'm gonna have to figure out how exactly to, like, go into that area, into the play mode. And then really from there, what we will do is we will go ahead and we will... Let me go back to the keyboard. So from there, we'll kind of play around with this area right here, and then we will play around with, where was it? I think it was, yeah, it was like over here. We'll play around with this area too, because I like the idea of, like, you kind of have to go through here, and then there's this garage. Can I even, let me look at a few things. First of all, I want to see if I can actually select this garage door as one of these doors here. Doesn't look like I can, sadly. Well, that sucks. I wish you could select garage doors like this. Well, that sucks. I mean, we can still utilize this. I don't know. We're gonna have to play around with it and see what we can do. But, and another thing is just accessing the inside of this club here. I don't even really understand how you're supposed to get into it. because you have interiors here, and then we have this, or no, I'm sorry, we have world features here. And this will basically allow you to access it in the test. But if we go ahead and go over here, this won't work. I wonder if we need to, hold on, let me test something. What do we, here we go. So we can select these. Default will unlock those. Actually, what I kind of like is maybe this is locked, right? But then this over here is... This over here is unlocked. And then when that's... We'll go to the ground. And with that unlocked, we should be able to go in here. Yeah. So that's how we gain access to this interior. So that will make it cool. I do like the idea of this door back here being locked. And then maybe we can place some enemies over here. Like maybe we can have like a manager smoking back here, and then if you take him out, then he drops a key. And then when you collect the key, it opens up a mission flag, where the mission flag will then open up this door back here. I kind of like that idea. And then we can have that kind of be an easy way that's kind of more hidden. But for the most part, we can have like a go to location objective right here, and then that will just allow you to go into here. But maybe there's like a lot of like biker guys in here that you're gonna have to like take out, or something. I mean, I don't really know what we're gonna do, but we can really play around with this space. Maybe up here we have to hack into a laptop, and then at the like the other hotel, we need to like get a key or something to help us do things at the movie theater. But yeah, I think that's kind of a good start. This first video's been kind of more of just kind of scouting out Vinewood, seeing what places you know, we can kind of look at and see what different areas we can play with. But you know, I think this is probably going to be a longer series. The last mission that I did a lot of kind of pre-building things out. So if with this mission, I think we're going to do a lot more kind of just building out different things from scratch. So again, I just kind of wanted to take a look at different areas and see like what different areas we could utilize. And yeah, I think we kind of have a good idea of different how, you know, this thing's going to start, what I'm kind of looking at building. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop the video right here. This is probably going to be of a more kind of relaxed, chill, more of a brainstormy idea type of video, but I wanted to at least get something started and kind of go through the whole process of designing this mission. So I'm really excited. There's a lot of different opportunities I could see myself really doing, and since this is going to be a bigger, chunkier mission, potentially, there might be a lot more parts to this than the previous one, because I did, again, as I stated, I kind of started that last mission by myself, and then I, you know, started making episodes when I got back into the swing of things. But I think that this will be a great start to the series. So again, I want to thank everybody for watching. Look forward to my next episode next weekend. and I will see you later. Have a good one.